In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Villa Lobos Blanco, right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming out next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre. Hopefully all of you are staying healthy and safe during this COVID-19 pandemic. Today I'm going to provide you with some insight and some tasting reviews on Villa Lobos Blanco. Hopefully to give you some entertainment and some information to help you out and keep you busy during this pandemic. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into how this tequila is made. All right, Villa Lobos Blanco comes out of NOM 1139. Now I learned something new this last week. The NOM number doesn't designate the distillery, but instead the holding company that has the licensing to make the tequila. So that's how a distillery can have multiple NOM numbers assigned to it, because they have multiple holding companies that are having their tequila made at the distillery. So instead, from now on, I'll just name the distillery after I name the NOM number that's assigned to it. So the distillery name for this one is La Alteña. The distillery is located in Aranda, Jalisco. The master distiller is Carlos Camerena. Now Carlos, if you're not familiar with him, he makes multiple brands out of La Alteña. Some of them I've done some reviews for. I've done reviews for Tapatio. You can see the Tapatio 110 review here on the channel, as well as a review for El Tesoro, which is another brand that he makes. And then the other one is Tequila Ocho. I'm going to be doing some reviews of their stuff here coming up shortly. So make sure you subscribe here to the channel and catch those reviews. But the Tapatio El Tesoro are excellent. I love them. So I'm pretty sure this one's going to be good too, but I can't wait to taste it and see what it's all about and tell you guys. So Carlos grows all of his agave on his own estate there, so they're all Weber Blue agave. After they're harvested, they're then processed properly and cooked in brick stone ovens called hornos. Now he cooks them for 36 hours to really make sure all the starches are converted to sugars, and it's just pure, beautiful sweetness in those agave. Then he shreds the agave and runs them through a roller mill to extract the sugars out of the agave fibers. It is then placed in the liquid that comes out of that is then placed in wooden fermentation tanks, where it is then fermented using natural yeast out of the air there in Aranda. See, the fermentation room doesn't have windows, so he just lets the natural yeast in the air ferment it and finish it off so it's ready to be distilled. And when it's ready to be distilled, it is then twice distilled. First time using a stainless steel still with copper coils, second time using a copper pot still. After distillation is then rested for 6 months or more in stainless steel tanks, and that really gives it a chance for it to settle down, let the flavors develop, let it mellow out, and really produce a better tasting tequila. So we'll see if that's the fact with this one when we get into the tasting. The lowest price that I've been able to find this for online is $46.99. So all the processes, everything here sounds fantastic for making a really well produced tequila and a really good tasting tequila. Let's see if that's the case. So let's head right into our tasting portion next. All right, we're back and ready for the tasting portion of this episode. As usual, I'll be using one of my Stazzle Jarrito nosing glasses from Chisel Shell Glasses. I really love these glasses. I keep saying that in all the videos, but it really is. I really do love it. All right, so a little something about the caps and stuff on these bottles. These are artificial corks. And one of the problems that you can have with these, if you're not careful in opening them, is that the glue separates from the cap. And so that makes it difficult to get the cork out of the bottle. So one thing I recommend is I go to a local winemaking shop and I buy some corks that are the same size. And so then when this happens, you're not stuck with no way to seal the bottle, and so then you can use these corks, which are the same size, to actually seal the bottle up afterwards. So it's normal, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It happens because they're just glued on, and you can see the inside of the cap. There's the glue that's stuck there that came off of the cork the artificial cork when I open the bottle. No big deal. I got it taken care of. All right, so let's go ahead and pour some in the glass and see what this tequila is all about. Get our glass full. I'll put my cork in the bottle now. Seal it up nice and tight. There we go. Put it aside so I don't knock it over. Moving my arms around and stuff. All right. So let's take a look at this. Looking at the tequila in the glass, you can see it coats the glass really well. You can see the legs and the tears coming down the glass. It looks beautiful. So it should have a nice, silky, smooth mouthfeel to it. The tequila itself, when it's not dripping down the bottom of the glass, crystal clear. Looks fantastic. Looks good. All right, so let's see what we get on this on the nose. Ooh, that is really nice. I do get the real mineralness from the crisp water and stuff, the spring water that they use there. I get beautiful cooked agave coming through on it, those baking spices, that cinnamon and nutmeg and stuff coming through, really strong. It has a nice floralness to it. And I'm getting a little fruitiness in there as well. Citrus. I'm getting citrus. It smells fantastic. All right, so let's see how this tequila tastes. Wow. Not a lot of heat on the mouth. It's very smooth, silky on the mouthfeel. Getting beautiful cooked agave coming through on it with those baking spices coming through. There's a nice grassiness coming through in the middle. A nice fruitiness to it. It's very fruity. I like that. I'm definitely getting some sweet fruit from it, like citrus, like grapefruit, maybe a little orange, like blood orange coming through on it. It's really nice. And then on the finish, I'm getting a little sweetness. Let me see if I can pick up a little more of that sweetness on the finish. Beautiful baking spices coming through. Mid-palate, a little grassiness to it. Then followed by some fruity citrus fruit coming through on it. Little tad bit of like anise type of flavor coming through, just a little bit to make it so it's not overly sweet. And then on the finish, slight honey-esque kind of sweetness on the finish. Wow, this is a really nice Blanco. I definitely would recommend this. Very sippable. Also, it tastes great in mixed drinks, margaritas and stuff. But this is definitely a good sipping tequila for me. I definitely could enjoy this, and will definitely keep it on my shelf. I'd like to say kudos to Carlos. You did it with this one. It's really nice. I've got one of your aged expressions, and I really look forward to trying one of those as well. And I'll do a video, so make sure you subscribe to see the video on some of his barrel-aged expressions of the Villa Lobos. So that is pretty much it. I highly recommend this. This is a really nice Blanco. Very sippable, very enjoyable. Right along the lines of El Tesoro and Tapatio. I actually think I prefer this one better than Tapatio, and it's probably right up there with El Tesoro. Really nice, nicely made Blanco. So I'd love to hear what you think about the review. Does the flavor profile sound good to you? Have you tried Villa Lobos? I'd love to hear your comments below. If there's any tequilas you'd like for me to review, comment below, let me know as well. Don't forget to give the video a like for all the great information I shared with you today. And more importantly, don't forget to subscribe, because I've got some other great tequilas I'm going to be reviewing. You're going to want to hear about them, I promise you. As well as we've got some great giveaways that we're going to be doing as well. And you can't win unless you subscribe and comment. Those are the guys that we pick for the winners, okay? So that is it. Villa Lobos Blanco, definitely a winner. Highly recommend it. And until next time, remember, life is too short to drink bad tequila. Salud.